If you think about fractions as partition of a number, in this case, it would take 5 pieces to make one whole. What this problem represents is that we have 3/5 of one fraction and 1/5 from the second fraction. So if we combine these two fractions, we will get 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces out of 5. A denominator indicates in how many parts a number is divided into, but it also determines how many pieces it takes to make a whole. So right here we need 5 parts to make a whole. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 out of 5 is equal to 1. Now in this problem we have it takes 3 parts to make a whole. Well, we have 3 parts to make one whole. However, altogether we have 6 pieces. So we need one more box that can hold thirds, and we fill it up with 3 more thirds. Altogether we have 6 thirds, which is 2 wholes. On the next problem we have 5 halves. Half, a second half, but we have more halves in the numerator, so we need one more box. Here's our third half, fourth half. We have one more half to go, so another container, and we have our fifth half. So in this problem, we have 2 wholes and 1 half left over. Okay, so to combine fractions that already have common denominators, put the fraction sign, copy the denominator, rewrite numerators as is for right now. And the next step, we still have the same denominator and we had same signs in numerators, so we're looking for a sum. Sum of 3 and 1 is 4. Now, as before, a number divided by itself is equal to 1. So our result is positive 1. Okay, so here we have 5/8 minus 3/8. Copy the denominator, so the common denominator is 8. Rewrite numerators as is. So we have 5 minus 3. And we know that 5 is positive, so we have different signs. We will be looking for difference between 5 and 3, which is positive 2, and the whole thing is still over 8. Now, 2 out of 8 is a perfectly fine answer. However, you need to be able to simplify fractions so they are in reduced form. One way of doing that is to pick the largest number that can be evenly divided into the numerator and denominator at the same time. So 2 and 8 are both even. We can divide both of them by 2. Now this 2 out of 2 is number divided by itself, and we know that number divided by itself is 1. Dividing by 1, you're still preserving the original value of the fraction. So we have 2 divided by 2, we have 1 in numerator, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 2 out of 8 is 1/4. If you look at this 2 out of 8 in terms of a picture, granted this is not the prettiest of pictures, we have 2 parts out of 8. Now, reducing this by 2, we can look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 out of 8 is the same as 1/4. Here we have negative 3/5 plus 2 out of 5. Once again, we copy the denominator. Rewrite numerators as they are, -3 plus 2. Even though there is a plus in between those numbers, we know that different signs, we calculate difference. So difference between 3 and 2 is 1. And we had more negatives, so it's -1. -4 out of 5 minus 3 out of 5, so denominator is out of 5. We copy numerators as is, so we have -4, -3. The whole thing is still out of 5. Now, be very careful here because even though it seems like there is a subtraction, same sign, we look for sum. So we have 4 and 3, the sum will be 7, and the sign is negative. We calculate the sum and keep the sign. So when you're combining fractions with like denominators, you want to rewrite the problem with common denominator and all the numerators on top. Combine numerators and reduce or simplify result if possible. That's all.